Batra Daf study tight Amur by the bottom by the Gemara. The Mishnah just mentioned that if someone has a pit inside the property of someone else's property and he has to pass through, they both have to put on locks. So the Gemara says, well, who's putting the lock? They both put a lock on the cover of the pit. Based on the Balabor, so that makes sense. I understand the owner of the pit should lock it. We don't want the owner of the house stealing it. Why does the homeowner have to lock it? It's a different reason, nothing to do with theft. Mishum hashad ishto. Who might think that because he's walking in to the property at different times, maybe he's seeing the wife and they might suspect some immoral activity. Therefore, they want the husband, the owner of the house, to have the key so that everybody sees that the husband's home and there won't be any concern. No, Someone has a garden behind the garden of his friend, and he's able to walk through. He has permission. He can enter at the right times and leave at the right times during daytime. Don't bring merchants into your garden to buy stuff. It's not nice. Don't use that field as a shortcut to something else. If you have another field behind it, don't use this guy's field to walk through to get to your field to go to another field behind it. Don't use the other guy's property as a shortcut. The owner of the outside garden can plant the path outside. Let's say the Kuwaitin gave him a path on the side of the garden, they agreed, instead of directly through. They can enter whenever he wants. He can leave whenever he wants. He can bring merchants inside. He still should not enter it as a shortcut. And neither one can plant on that path. Someone says, I'm selling you the canal to supply water for a field. He has to give 2 amot of land for the canal itself, but and on either side to repair it. Just to walk and repair. I'm selling a canal for water, for a pond. He has to give him 1 amah for the canal, but and a half and 1/2 amah on each side, a half amah for each side for the banks for standing and repair. But I go find me on those banks, the sides, who gets to plant. The owner of the field can plant there. Rahman says, the owner of the field can plant with trees. Sorry, the one who says that he can plant there, kosher cannot, he can definitely put trees. Man says trees, but not seeds, because seeds can cause the riverbank to collapse. Let's say the water canal that the banks and the sides collapsed. Says that you can use soil from that field that the canal is on the side of that canal area. The fields are there. You can use that soil to replace it. Because if the banks collapse, it probably collapsed onto his field, his mud, his field. The Gemara who says, your water swept it away, and therefore your land, your soil is not over here. So you shouldn't be able to use my property to rebuild your canal bank. The Gemara says, okay. No, the reason why you get to use the soil of the field is because that was the condition to begin with that the owner of the field agreed to having the canal by the property. The public property, a public path passing through his field, i.e. Park Avenue on the side. So let's say he takes it back for himself. He says, okay, I'm putting blocking it and I'm giving you a new path on the other side. The new path is given to the public. And the old path does not become his. I'll explain. When we say that a private path is 4 amot. The public path is 16 amot wide. Like a public property, like a street. If the king needs to pass through, he can make any size he wants. He can rip right through your field as wide as he wants. The path to the grave has no limit. Regarding the size for a ma'amad ceremony, we'll explain what that is. They say it, bet arba'a karbin, 4 kav is the size for the ma'amad. Okay, what do you mean that whatever I'll give you a new public spot, and we said that the new one becomes public, but the old one does not become his. Why can't he? Let him call parzav, let him take a stick, sit there, and give a good knock to the next guy that walks in. Let him enforce his own property. So Gemara says, "Oh, Shema Mira, does that mean lo avid inish dina lenafsheh? A person can't enforce the law for himself?" It's a big machloket in Baba Kama. We had this 11 months ago, 10 months ago. That can a person take the matter in his own hands? Can he take the law into his own hands? Seemingly, I feel Makum says that even in a case where he's losing over here, it seemingly he can't. But we know that the opposite might be true. The Gemara says, "No, we don't let you retrieve your old path, not because we don't let you enforce it, but rather you don't reacquire it because we don't want you to give them a path that is not that does not make it a shortcut. So yes, you had a shortcut now, you want to give them a new path, but who says that's a shortcut? In that case, we don't want to do it, so therefore we never allow you to require it. But here referring to the case where the guy gave him a crooked path, it wasn't a shortcut, and because of that, he didn't reacquire it. Amar Rabashi did a simpler answer. Any new path, the reason why it doesn't work is not because it's crooked, etc. The answer is because yes, it might be nearer for some people, but it's still considered a long cut for someone else because one guy got closer, the other side of that cut, the shortcut got longer because it used to be in a different angle, and therefore you can never switch from the way that things was, and the owner has no right to try to get rid of it.